The markets were on such a slow grind today.
Oh, girl, don't let it steal your heart away.
One of the best things about being back is the fresh air. We're going to get a sandwich. We finally have it again. Dutch cheese and Dutch sandwiches.
I know a swinging little joint where we
Okay
can jump
guys,
and
so
shout.
we just picked up the watch. Guys, we made it. We made it. The entire trip today. What was important? Alright guys, welcome back. Listen, the markets were on such a slow grind today that I was talking to my friends. They're all in the Netherlands. Of course, I live in Dubai. And what was the problem? They were all eating something that I wanted to eat. Okay, in the Netherlands you have something, it's called pepernoten. And what happened now is because the market was so slow, I was like, hey, maybe I should go there as well for a couple of days. So what did I do? I booked a ticket to Amsterdam. So that's where we are going in this vlog, okay? Okay, it's already in 8 hours, so I might have to pack now. But yeah, we're going to Amsterdam. I just straight up picked up the camera. I was like, you know what? We're going to vlog, we're going to Amsterdam, we're going to eat some, and then we're heading back to Dubai, hopefully when the markets do something again. So let's go on the journey. Don't forget to subscribe and like to the channel. Thank you. Alright guys, it's currently 5 o'clock. So this means that it's time to leave. And of course, for the people who watch the channel for some time, every single time when I do a impulsive trip, what do? I call Ali and I tell him, listen, we're heading somewhere. And there he is. There he is. So he is joining again to the Amsterdam trip. And it's time to go.
Baby, here I am, I'm a man on the scene.
So guys, one of the biggest reasons why I'm about to travel now is yesterday it was FOMC. So as you guys can see, is we had a very fast spike up, then the price destabilized for a bit, and then we had a very fast spike down. What I usually do, first of all, 2 days before FOMC, I don't trade, and when I'm looking at the 2 days after FOMC, I tend to not trade as well. One of the biggest reasons for this is because I want to deleverage the market. I want to wait for a bit, and once the markets are deleveraged, that's when I enter back again, because that's when you have the healthiest price action. So this basically means that I'm unemployed for 4 days. So welcome in the life of an unemployed trader.
I can give you what you want, but you got.
Okay guys, 2 minutes into the trip and I already dropped the camera. So the entire head is now bent. So we bought a new one on the airport. Okay, so I have to install this one in the plane. But I promise you, the vlog will be there. Okay, no one is holding me back from the Amsterdam vlog and a lot of sandwiches.
Cause mama, I'm so hard to hell now, yes around.
Alright guys, we're about to go. So it's time to get a 7-hour quick nap in. Ciao,
I know you got you another man, but I can love you better than him. Take my hand, don't be afraid. I wanna prove every word I say. I'm magnetized love.
Guys, one of the best things about being back is the fresh air. Cold air.
I'm a big old man, mama.
Hey guys, what I was talking about the deleveraging of the markets, this is what we currently see. So as you guys see, we had this very fast spike. Now we are deleveraging and the market is going very slow again. That is what we want to do after FOMC. So you want to wait 1 or 2 days for the markets to reposition before we are going to do something actively again. But now it's time to go on a hunt for some paper note. Yeah. Okay guys, so this is the room. Look, first of all, an important one. The bathroom. Look at this. Amazing. Just yeah. Okay guys, I'm a very bad realtor. Yeah, I have to confess. This is the room. Yeah, this is the room. One of the reasons why I always go to this hotel is because it's just in a very centered place in Amsterdam. It's around all of the places where I usually go. They give very fucking nice treats. So that's something you can make me happy with. And then the most important part is that the view is just amazing. Like you don't have this view in a lot of places in Amsterdam because it's so high. So this is something I really, really, really like. Now I'm going to sleep for a couple of hours because I'm very, very tired. And then the journey of Amsterdam begins. Alright guys, so it's morning, it's Friday. We're in the Netherlands. So what are we going to do? We're going to enjoy the morning with a sandwich, okay? Now there's one big problem. As you guys know, I literally came here for the Hand of Pepernoten. It's basically a good Dutch delight, yeah? Can't find it anywhere. So, what are we about to do to not make this trip 100% useless? As you guys know, for the people who watch the channel, 2 months ago I lost my AP Royal Oak. Yeah, I lost it in the gym, my own fault, okay? It is what it is. So, what did I think? Hey, I'm in Amsterdam, this is the place of vintage watches. There's one guy, for all of my Dutch people, you know him, Jasper Leijvering, okay? He's like the big guy in the vintage watches industry. I texted him and I said, listen, you need to help me out, I need a new daily beater, what do you have? He had something, so that one we're going to pick it up today. Yeah. But first, of course, we're going to get a sandwich. We finally have it again. After 7 months, Dutch cheese and Dutch sandwiches. It's amazing. Hey guys, so before, of course, I was walking towards the watch shop. I love food in Amsterdam, and now we have something. It's called an oliebol. Okay, the best thing ever. So we are about to go pick up the watch, but first, very good. Keep them. So guys, one of the good things about Amsterdam is that if you have to pee somewhere, yeah, not like another place, you need to walk into a restaurant and like, hey, can I? We have something, the greatest in fashion in the entire world. The Krul. Basically, where you can just go and you can piss here.
With people she'd hate. That's why the lady is a tramp.
Okay guys, so I just arrived. Again, I'm now with the one and only Jasper. Jasper, I want to thank you for being here. One of the things that I wanted to say is that when I'm looking at you and what you've accomplished in Amsterdam, I would say, or I would even say in the Netherlands, is that if someone talks about watches here, they think about you. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, how was it to from an early stage be such a big player in this game? Because when I'm looking at myself, I always get questions like, I had some success at a younger age, but you have very similar things, but then in a very different niche. And I wanted to see what your perspective is on getting towards that point.
Firstly, it's a great pleasure to have you guys over again. You know what really attracted me about you is that you're just as fucked up in the head as I am. You know, you're obsessed, also with the small details. And in the end, that can be a deficit, but it's also your power. Yeah. And that's what I had from an early age on as well. When I was 16, I was just so obsessed by watches, eager to learn every bit about them. Yeah. That gave me such a head start. And secondly, because I was quite young in this space, like my competitors, they were 50, 60-year-old guys. Yeah. And this is at the brink of, you know, social media taking over. Yeah. So I was literally the first guy on Instagram with a blue check mark who was a watch dealer. Yeah. Because nobody even thought this was a feasible idea to sell watches through Instagram, because all these old guys, they had the idea of just having a shop.
Word of mouth, and then someone
word of mouth, or sitting in the shop waiting for somebody to ring the doorbell, right? Yeah. So this approach was totally different. We gave it a personal touch, just like you did, you know? Yeah. People follow you because of you. Yeah. You are the brand yourself as well. Yeah. You know, I have nothing, honestly, I don't know nothing about trading, but when I follow your profile, I want to be a trader as well, because you can relate with a person. It's easier to relate with a person than with a product or with a market. And that's how we played it, and it's based on passion. Just like you're building a community. Yeah. We try to do that as well, but then for people who appreciate the finer arts of watchmaking.
Yeah, and I would say that one of the things that we are very similar in is in the trading industry you have so many dipshits. Like so many people who just pretend to be traders, or they use trading as their marketing tool. And when I'm looking at what you're doing with the watches, like one of the things, the younger people, most of the time they want the newer models and they want to shine as much as possible, but they don't give a fuck about the watches. And when I'm looking at you, you said, hey, fuck it, the watch industry has such a like it's such a big niche at the end of the day where there's much more than just the newer models. Look at all of the previous models and all
Exactly.
of the vintage stuff. And I think that is where really one of the reasons why so for the people who watch my channel, as you guys know, I lost my Royal Oak. Maybe not the smartest thing. I know, maybe a bit stupid. And then I was here, I forgot my watch, and I was like, fuck it, I need a new daily beater. And then I was like, instead of getting a new one, I said last time to you, I will come back when I'm here, and we will get something. So you had one thing, and I was like, fuck it, I want that one. So thank you for bringing me into the vintage world now. And I would say that this is a great start for...
Be careful though, because you have an addictive personality.
And very addictive. Yeah, but I think it's good for you. I think that's a good thing for you.
So if you're drawn to these beauties, you know, the beauties from the past, I find them to have way more... oh, we have another point coming in. I find them to have way more aesthetic pleasure, way more historical significance, and that is what really draws me to these watches.
Yeah.
I'll quickly welcome this lady because she's getting
Picking
this
up
beauty.
It looks
She's
amazing.
getting this beautiful watch. A lady collector.
Fucking cool.
Hi.
doesn't like crap games.
I have one more question.
With
That is for the people who are watching. A lot of people are in my DMs, they made their first money and they ask me about watches, and I always say, hey, you're asking the wrong guy, and I know absolutely nothing about it. But when someone asks you, and when it's, for example, they ask you why vintage models instead of modern models, what would your answer be? And for the people who are watching, what would you say if they want to dive deeper into your world? Basically, what would your first recommendation be? So if someone wants to go into trading, I always say, hey, don't directly just random start with a mentor or buying some random course. See if you like the fundamentals first. So learn about the fundamentals, put some time in it, 3 months, 6 months. If you like it, then that's when you jump deeper into it. What would you say when you're looking at the watch industry in general? Would you say start with modern models and then later go into vintage, or would you say start with vintage and maybe sometime buy a modern watch?
No, most certainly in watch trading or in watch collecting, the hunt is part of the fun. So once you obtain your prized possession, let's say, sometimes it can feel a bit empty. So either you have the disease we have, that we start looking for the next one, or you're finished, you just have your watch. But most importantly, if you make the hunt already fun, and you can do that by being well informed on blogs, on YouTube videos, as we do. If you follow us on Instagram, we regularly post real, true, in-depth information that will supply you with more information on which you can finally decide where your parameters are. So again, you know, it's preaching to the choir to say I love vintage for a myriad of reasons. However, if you prefer modern, that's fine too. But it's important that you decided for yourself what is important to you. If you prefer the vintage aesthetics, if you prefer the depth and the knowledge and the know-how that's required to go into vintage. And to be honest, it's a little bit more special, lower production numbers, more artisanal craftsmanship, really close to the source of when they finally, for example, these Daytonas from the 70s, they only released the Daytona in 1963. So these are one of the very first, you know, so you can really see where it all started. For me, that's very historically pleasing.
So for you, it's the hunt is one of the core reasons why you say, fuck it, I love vintage.
Exactly. And if you prefer to just walk into the store and get the watch you want because it's this new model, that's fine. I mean,
but it's a bit boring for you.
It's a bit boring, but if you like the practicality, I understand, you know, these 1970s Daytonas, they're slightly more fragile. They're still for daily use. They're great watches because it's Rolex. If you take a look at the complicated Pateks from the 1950s, I wouldn't recommend daily use. However, these you can, but it's a plexi crystal model. I wouldn't swim with them. These are manual wind, except for the ones from the 90s, but the other ones are manual wind. So these are specific factors you have to weigh in, and you know, in the end, it's very subjective. But my heart goes towards vintage.
And let's say someone is watching now. He made, let's say, for example, his first 50 or let's say 100k. He says, hey, I want to use some to put it on the side, and he wants to jump into the vintage world. What is one where you would say, hey, this is a great starter watch, for example?
firstly, most importantly, especially on vintage, but it also goes for a gray market modern, even more so because there's more counterfeits in the newer space.
Yeah.
But with vintage, it's very important that you either have the knowledge or you have somebody who has the knowledge. So
Yeah.
you're going to me,
Yeah.
my business model is not selling watches. My business model is putting my reputation in the watches because I created, even in some sense, the knowledge that
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah.
And it's not so much readily available.
Yeah.
So if you do not have that drive to obtain all the information yourself, make sure you go to a legitimate source who sells vintage watches.
And I would
so
say
you
that
don't
that
make
makes the
mistakes.
hunt more fun as well. Because
As
if
well.
you are hunting for something and then you stumble across Jasper who can give you all the details that you didn't even knew that they would exist, then of course it will make it way more fun.
Very true, and I can show you, for example, this watch, Big Red 6263. I can find you a Big Red 6263 for 70,000 euro as well. This
Yeah.
one is 95,000 euro.
Yeah.
But this one I would buy any day of the week. Whilst the one for 70,000 probably is the watch that's more expensive. Why? Because the condition is lackluster, the bezel has been replaced, you know, it's a 50-year-old watch.
Yeah.
But if you replace the bezel, that's already a 7,000 euro worth less.
Yeah.
So, you know, in the end, it's not just the bottom line of the price tag, but it's also the configuration, the condition, the quality, and these are all factors you have to weigh in, and we do already. But if you do not have the know-how yourself, it is important to find somebody who has.
Okay guys, so we just picked up the watch. Now it's time to go to Waldorf, eat some, drink some coffee, enjoy. Then we see if there is anything to do on the market. And let's see if we can still find some paper notes, because that was the actual hunt. Okay, but let's see.
And it's damp. That's why the
Guys,
lady
if you're in Amsterdam, the best coffee is at Waldorf. So make sure that you go there. Guys, we made it. We made it. The entire trip today. Now we have the watch. But the watch wasn't the most important thing. I really don't give anything about that thing. What was important? Yeah. There we go. There we go. So we're going to take this one. 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 This one. This one. En this one. Ja, sorry. Ja. Heb je niet nog meer van deze?
Nee, dit is wat
Okay. If you spot me in Amsterdam today, most probably, you will see me like this, just eating. Amazing. The best ever. Worth it. Okay guys, it's the next day. The paper note hunt is over. Okay, so I literally came here to grab some paper notes, and I can tell you one thing. I came with an empty suitcase and now it's full. So we have a suitcase full of paper notes. I'm happy. Okay, yeah, we got a new watch as well, but that was just a quick side quest. That was nothing, planned. This was the main objective. We got it, so now it's time to head back to Dubai again. Because when you're looking at this, the weather isn't amazing, as you guys can see. So I would rather now just go back, go home, enjoy the sun, and it's my birthday in a week. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel for my birthday, okay?